Hi there, my name is Matt Cole.
And I'm Brian Garrity.
And we are the producers of the Sexperts Podcast. And we have here a returning champion. Welcome back to the show, Ed Cardigan.
Woo! I'm happy to be back. I think this is the first time I've been on in about a year.
A lot of our frequent flyers are at home listening right now going, oh crap, I need to get back on. Ed's going to lap me.
Yeah, like Matt Holman and James Roach. You're on
James
notice.
was on recently, and I was like, I was in that same boat. I was like, I got to get back on.
Hey, look who it is. And there's another returning champion, Sandy.
Yeah, for those of you listening to the audio version, my wife just flipped off.
I did not flip off.
Wow,
it was more of a moon.
It was more of a moon. Yeah, we saw both cheeks.
I myself.
All right, so Ed, in the year that has passed since you've been on, what have you been up to?
The same shit. Just doing my day job. I'm teaching theater again, which has been really cool. Improvageddon is still going strong. We've had some interesting teams come through. It was actually a really good year for the show.
Yeah, in fact,
really competitive year, which hasn't always been the case in years past. But it's been really great.
Yeah, Brian and I were on a successful team. That shows you how well the show is doing.
You guys are so modest.
That was all him.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here just thinking about how many I lost last year. Thinking, yeah, it was really competitive.
So I do want to mention, now that we've gone into the interview for a little bit, that this is actually our first recording over the internet, and we're doing it for social distancing purposes, obviously, because of coronavirus. So we want to check in with all of our guests. What are you up to at home now that you're not teaching theater?
Well, doing the best I can to be a drama teacher over online.
Wait, how do you do that?
Basically, I've like scanned scripts and have the kids doing more analysis type of stuff, and I'm probably going to experiment with using some of these video programs like the one we're using right now for them to present monologues and whatnot.
That's awesome, because the whole doing more analysis is one of the reasons why I hated theater classes.
Here's the thing. It's very important. It makes you better to do it.
Did you ever take any theater classes, Brian? Ever?
Do you think I ever took one? No, I did not. Everything you see is natural, God-given skill. With one exception, I took a theater workshop at Push about a year and a half ago.
Here's the thing. Push stuff counts.
Mm-hmm.
You were trained by people that were trained by actual theater teachers. Kind of like secondhand.
What's the guy who has the Keith Flippin? I took his workshop at Push.
Actually,
He's great.
Yeah, he has some clout, and he has some. That's kind of prestigious. You make a joke, but he's big time.
A joke. It was only 3 hours.
No.
And 3 hours, a lot of people that suck probably should take.
I also took a Viewpoints workshop.
Mm-hmm.
With Deb Wallace.
Yeah, with Deb.
Wonderful.
And
Wonderful.
it was two things that time. It was Viewpoints one day, and then something else the next day where we wrote pieces and performed them.
Oh yeah, I was in that one.
I think we might still have the all-time record for least audience at a show for the grad show for that. I remember posting that we were going to do that grad show, and a guy named Scott saw it on Facebook, and he lived 30 minutes away. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to go to that."
Not the right one to go to.
Not the best show to pick, Scott, but thanks for the support.
It is always weird when doing shows at Push or doing entertainment in general. You're sharing stuff you're doing on social media, and some rando that you went to high school with they pick the weirdest possible show to come and be like, oh, I want to see and check out this stuff that you've been doing. It's like you pick the most experimental, most like not indicative of what we normally do show to come see.
My favorite story along those lines, it's a little bit different, but it's along those lines, is my sketch group, The Bright Side, did a collaboration show once with a sketch group called Prima Donnas. And we were in the theater on a Saturday afternoon rehearsing with the two groups, and the push house phone rang. And somebody on one of the groups answered it, and they're like, Push Comedy Theater, can I help you? And they're like, yeah, hi, I've got a question. Is Brian Garrity performing tonight?
You're famous.
Like, actually, yeah, he's in the 10 o'clock sketch show. He's like, oh, okay. It turned out to be a guy I hadn't seen since high school. He had just been following my stuff on Facebook and called in to see if I'd be in the show that night. But it was really funny at the time.
Well, Brian, I mean, you have a good batting average. Like you said, you took a class with Keith Flippin and Deb Wallace, and like they're
I only do award-winning types.
Yeah, exactly. So probably someone's like, I want to see the show that Brian Garrity is in. He's studied with all the greats.
I've been assistant directing under Matt Cole's tutelage for about 5 years now. So that's helped.
All right, Ed. So you got the whole distance learning thing going on, I guess you could call it. You got Improvageddon. What about musical improv? Still doing that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I know that. I know this. I haven't been able to do the True Life shows as much just because of commitments doing high school theater. But fake news. Which it's very convenient because that's the show that happens before Improvageddon. And it's been an interesting year for that show. It's just it's been really cool to get to work with Kate and Andy and Carrie and Matt. And some of the guests we've brought in, like Jake Hall, was very good.
So I have to ask, so this weekend, and I think this episode is probably going to go up tonight, this weekend, Sketchmageddon, the sister show, I'll put in air quotes, is having an online version, kind of like America's Funniest Home Sketches, I guess.
Yeah.
Is there a plan? Is there a plan in place for Improvageddon to go virtual?
Don't hedge on that. Don't hedge on that. That's a yes.
I mean, here's the thing. I definitely want to do something. I know this. Whatever we do in that vein, it certainly will not count towards official records or championship status.
Whoa! Wow, that's kind of harsh. That's laying down the hammer.
I'm a purist when it comes to this stuff. So
if Improvageddon doesn't go on, the virus wins.
I mean, it's something that I'm thinking about and trying to figure out what would be the best way to implement it. Hopefully I'll have an answer by before the show
next Saturday.
Go up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this video conferencing thing, I think maybe could be a makeshift or something to try. I think I'm actually going to, with the Push's blessing, Open Gym is supposed to be next week, and I think maybe we'll go this route as well because people are really clamoring for entertainment and clamoring to do creative stuff.
I mean, it's like with Improvageddon, I wouldn't want to do it live. It would probably have to be groups recording themselves, with the honor system as far as the 15 minutes and the honor system as far as they're not editing out crap.
They'd have to get their suggestion from an independent body on air and go right into the performance at that point. You know what I mean? You'd have to be on speakerphone and give them the suggestion, and then they go right into the performance.
I love it.
There can't be any time to think between suggestion obtained And we need a big suggestion obtained graphic.
I'll tell you what,
Fire exploding and devils and shit.
that's a dream of mine, is to listen to improv performances on speakerphone.
You might want to go 7 minutes on those sets, because
I think that might be better.
As we all know, if improv on speakerphone any longer than 7 minutes, you're asking for trouble.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the gears are turning.
Yeah.
I think that if we do a sort of video version of Improvageddon, I'm gonna switch things up a little bit. Probably let more teams compete.
Oh wow, nice.
It's like I said, the wheels are turning. You got me thinking. Again, it will be different, and maybe it'll be its own kind of separate thing, kind of like the college championship, where you have like the video coronavirus Improvageddon champions.
I'd like to go ahead and submit a team live on air right now. It's called the Nudists. And our thing is nudity. That's our shtick.
All right, but you know what? You told Ed, and so Ed makes the rules. So now he's just gonna come up with a rule. There's no nudity involved.
Well, we're gonna use technology to blur out the naughties.
I mean,
we're gonna call the naughties.
What do you think, Ed?
I mean, if it's like I never imagined that Improvageddon would cross over into the arena of softcore pornography.
I did. Me and Brian talked about it.
You never met us, bro. We've been steadily moving in that direction for 5 years now.
I mean, it's like one thing that doesn't come up a lot in traditional improv scenes is like genitalia manipulation.
Team name the Manipulators.
Okay, well, I don't want to take too long. In case this doesn't actually record, and this is kind of a test, thank you once again for being our, first off, a wonderful returning guest. You're always hilarious. Always love watching you on the stage. And thank you for being the very first online guest. Any last plugs? Any last things you want to say to the audience out there, Ed?
Stay home.
Spoken like a true champion. Alrighty, thank you so much. We're on to the episode. Bye-bye.